is at it again. So Fani Willis just seems like she just can't stop rubbing people the wrong way. Yeah, so apparently Fani Willis's office got into this massive shouting match with the judge, and that was quite a mess. That was definitely not a good look for Fani Willis's office. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But it's like Fani Willis is like kind of pissing off the wrong people. You don't want to piss off the judge. You definitely don't want to go around pissing off Jim Jordan, who basically, I don't know if you guys know, but Jim Jordan could very well be the next Speaker of the House. So, I mean, the guy is kind of he's in a strong position. So for you to tell him to go and say that Jim Jordan is ignorant of the U.S. Constitution, I don't know if that's the right way to go about doing things, and for Fani Willis for Fani Willis's office to believe that they cannot be sued. Like, is Fani Willis's office above the law? I mean, did I miss something here? I mean, I must have missed something here. I must have missed something. Before we get into this, guys, all I ask is that you guys take a second, hit the like button for the video. That tells YouTube that this channel is awesome and that this video is awesome and that more people need to see it. I appreciate the love, you guys. As always, what's going on? Everyone in the chat. Jose, Rad Dad of 4. We got Robin Spielman, Nana's Crochet Corner. Hey, Nana, you got the popcorn? Oh, yes, Nana does have the popcorn. Let's go. Patrick Hartman, Tammy Ferguson, Keenan Ripon. What's going on, everyone? So, yeah. So Fani Willis apparently thinks that she's above the law. And it's like when you do dirt, a lot of people tend to come out of the woodwork. Take a listen.
Republican lawmakers say several whistleblowers are eager to come forward and testify that Willis misused state and federal.
Whoa, several?
Republican lawmakers say several whistleblowers are eager to come forward and testify that Willis misused state and federal funds.
Whoa, that's not a good look. That's not a good look, right? I mean, hold on. So Fani Willis let that one woman go because she blew the whistle. She was a whistleblower, basically talking about these federal funds that were allegedly misused. And now there's more coming out of the woodwork. What is going on? So you try to take down Donald Trump, and that was an epic backfire. But now you've lifted up this big rock in the backyard and you see all this crap underneath and you're like, oh crap, let me put this rock back. But now it's too late. It's too late. Blake Mitchell, thank you so much, my man, for the big $4.99 super chat. Appreciate the love. Super early in this live. I thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so this is not a good look, guys. Not a good look.
Now an emergency hearing is scheduled for this week.
A Georgia appeals court is weighing whether or not to take up that case and has now just about 30 days to decide.
All the legal drama, there is more surrounding Donald Trump, looking specifically now at the election interference case.
Witness in the Fani Willis misconduct hearing in Georgia.
Now the Justice Department reportedly finding inconsistencies in Fulton County DA Fani Willis's use of federal grant money. Yeah. Willis fired the whistleblower who warned the DA's office was attempting to misuse.
Now, first of all, when you fire the whistleblower, that's already a red flag. When you fire a whistleblower, it's a red flag. I mean, if you're going to do that, you kind of want to let a lot of time go by so that people won't look at it from the outside and be like, hey, there's probably a reason why this person was fired, right? But no, but there's a pattern here. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I always say how you do one thing is how you do everything. And when you have a pattern of being sloppy, it tends to continue and pursue throughout everything. And, the attempt to hide the relationship between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, I mean, that was an epic failure. Joe Harper, my man, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Joe Harper, for supporting the channel. And I also wanted to say God bless you, and as well as Blake Mitchell, God bless you, and all of my viewers, subscribers, all of the new members, all my existing members on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. My man Dan Wood just hit me with a $10 super chat this evening. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you all. So yes, when you do dirt, things tend to surface. Now, Jim Jordan is not the kind of guy that's just going to allow someone to essentially just slap him in the face and not hit back, basically, right? Figuratively speaking, of course. But here's the thing. Now we have all sorts of whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork talking about they have information to share. This is not good for Fani Willis, but this is the kind of ammunition that's definitely helping Jim Jordan's case, which, by the way, Jim Jordan threatened to hold Fani Willis in contempt of court, which we covered previously in the state of Georgia. If you're held in contempt of court, this could result in a financial penalty, a financial fine. In addition to this, it could also lead to jail time. All right. Now, again, all of this is bad news for Fani Willis. This is basically getting Jim Jordan the information that he and Atlanta, Georgia taxpayers deserve.
$488,000. This was a federal grant. She wanted to use it to pay for computers and travel. I don't know if she was traveling with her boyfriend or not, but the DOJ told the Washington Free Beacon the grant is plagued with reporting discrepancies, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, no, God bless the whistleblower came forward. We've talked with the whistleblower. She's given information to the press, to us. Now the Department of Justice is looking into this. All kinds of problems with Fani Willis and this ridiculous investigation that she's run on President Trump and others and the charges she's brought forward. I mean, you got the whole thing with Nathan Wade. Taxpayer money going to Nathan Wade. He was traveling to Washington, meet with the DOJ, the White House, the January 6th committee.
Did Nathan Wade also meet with Kamala Harris? I mean, like, it sounded like Nathan Wade met with everyone, all the Democrats in the entire White House. I mean, like, it was almost like this was like who said it the other day? I think it was Representative Tim Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think it was Representative Tim Scott who said this wasn't election interference that they're doing, that they're running the game on Donald Trump right now. This is worse than election interference. This is election. This was basically a coordinated election interference attempt. I mean, like, this is like the next level of election interference.
All in this effort to go after President Trump. And now we have this. It looks like misspending federal grant dollars. God bless the whistleblower who came forward and let us understand what's going on here.
Wow. So yeah, everyone's coming out of the woodwork here, guys. Everyone's coming out of the woodwork. So now Fani Willis's office got into this big, huge shouting match. Teresa Ottaviani. Let me know in the comments down below, Teresa, if I said your last name correctly. I'm doing my best here. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. God bless you. Teresa says, I love your style, Ron. Thank you for all the time you put in, keeping us informed. God bless. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it. The channel appreciates it. We have an amazing community here. What's going on, Catalia? Catalia is like, I feel like Catalia is like the my moderator in the comments, like always just super active, not just chatting with me, but chatting with everyone. And so I really appreciate the love. And Catalia is not the only one. I don't want to act like, she is the only one. There are many of you guys that really, really do help the channel become what it is. And I just really want to just take a second to appreciate you guys, because a lot of you guys I see all the time. So lots of familiar faces in here. Like, some of you guys just never miss any lives, any videos or whatever. So anyway, so Fani Willis's office got into this big, huge shouting match with the judge. Have a seat, okay? So basically, a lead prosecutor for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's office got into a shouting match with the judge that's presiding over the YSL trial involving rapper Young Thug. Now, as you guys understand, DA Fani Willis's office handles a multitude of cases. And so Donald Trump's case with the Georgia election interference case and the 18 other co-defendants, 4 of which were basically took a plea deal and are no longer a part of this trial now. But Fani Willis's office handles multiple cases. And so in this instance, Assistant District Attorney Adriane Love had a heated exchange with Judge Ural Glanville earlier today, this afternoon, after the judge sided with the defense. Here we go again, right? The judge siding with the defense. Do you see a pattern here? Not a good look for Fani Willis's office here, right? So it just, like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I mean, look at the habits, look at the behavioral traits of human nature. When you recognize a habit that someone tends to have, that habit tends to repeat itself throughout life if you pay attention to people. Anyway, I'm a huge psychology buff. Anyway, let me stop nerding out. All right, so Assistant District Attorney Adriane Love had a heated exchange with Judge Ural Glanville earlier today, this afternoon, after the judge sided with the defense. Now, keep in mind, Fani Willis's office, they're the DA, so they're the prosecutor. So the defense is the other side of the argument. Basically, it's like the Donald Trumps of the courtroom. So basically, the judge did not side with them, and the judge sided with the defense and ruled that the evidence that Love wanted to introduce would be excluded. So, as Love began vocalizing her frustrations at the ruling, like, what is it with this office just doing whatever you want in the courtroom? Like, where's the respect for the judicial system? Where's the respect for the judge, right? So, real quick, Eric Jordan, thank you so much, my man, for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate you. Eric Jordan says, Fani Willis, congratulations, you played yourself. So appreciate you, my man. All right, so as Love began vocalizing her frustrations with the ruling, Glanville told her, well, you all should have gotten yourself together beforehand. And this was before telling the court to summon the jury. So apparently they had a stuff together. All right. So the judge then turned back to Love saying, quote, have a seat, ma'am. Have a seat. You better exclude that next time. Make sure you're prepared. Wow. Wow. So the judge straight up went off. Now, before Love could begin her objections, Glanville cut her off, telling the prosecutor, quote, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just not. We are starting right now. So Love is the lead prosecutor in this RICO case against Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and 27 other individuals. So not a good look from Fani Willis's office, but it doesn't end there, guys. It doesn't end there. Fanny, I almost said Fanny's Willie. Oh my God. All right. Fani Willis's office feel like she says that no one's above the law. I somehow feel like Fani feels that she is, or her office is above the law. Now, what do y'all think? Do you think that Fani Willis feels as if she or her office is above the law? Hit me up, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Now, Fani Willis, the DA, has been subpoenaed by my man, Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan is bringing it to the House. He is bringing it. All right. So DA Fani Willis has been subpoenaed by U.S. House Judiciary Committee to produce records related to the Trump investigation. Now, we already heard from Jim Jordan about this before. He said, hey, I'm going to give you until such and such a date, which is already passed. It was like some date in, I think it was end of March, toward the end of March, to provide these records. Records hadn't been provided. There was some response from Fani Willis's office, but it wasn't what Jim Jordan had requested. And so here we are, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, whose office has issued a series of historic indictments against the nation's 45th president, Donald Trump. But in a response filed earlier this month to an open records request from America First Legal, Willis's office said the request, quote, fails as a matter of law because the Fulton County District Attorney's office is an entity not capable of being sued. Dan Wood, my man, thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for joining the live. I love seeing all you guys up in here. So quote, the plaintiff's complaint against the Fulton County District Attorney's office should be dismissed as a matter of law because the Fulton County District Attorney's office is not an entity that can be sued, according to Fani Willis's office. So they're above being able to be sued somehow. Yeah. So early in February this year, America First Legal filed a complaint against Fani Willis in an effort to compel her office to produce records related to the meetings, which we just talked about, that there was like a due date toward the end of March regarding meetings and communications between Fani Willis or ex-special prosecutor Nathan Wade and the White House or the U.S. Justice Department officials. They wanted all this documentation. What kind of communications have y'all had? What y'all talk about? Yada, 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 yada. So apparently this information had been provided. Willis has been threatened with contempt of Congress by the U.S. Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, who could very well be the, Speaker of the House one day, who happens to chair the very powerful House Judiciary Committee at the moment. So he's not just your run-of-the-mill senator. He got a little bit of clout behind him. So for months, Jordan's committee has been demanding details of Fani Willis's investigation into her charges that former President Donald Trump and several of his GOP allies engaged in some criminal harebrained conspiracy, is what they're saying, to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election. So, yeah. So basically, quote, the Open Records Act does not require the disclosure of records or law enforcement, prosecution, or regulatory agencies in any pending investigation or prosecution of criminal or unlawful activity, according to her response. So essentially, Fani Willis doesn't feel as though her office is within the realm of peasants who would be otherwise, therefore, eligible to be sued. So, sounds to me like they think that they're above the law. Anyway, so it's absolutely wild, absolutely wild. But see, Jim Jordan, like I said, this is not going to be the end of it at all. You got to keep in mind. What was it? Weeks back in, I want to say it was maybe last year, toward the end of last year, Willis sent a blistering reply to Jim Jordan telling the Ohio congressman he lacks a basic understanding of the law, its practice, and the ethical obligation of attorneys generally and prosecutors specifically. Basically, you don't know what you're talking about. Don't forget the neck movement and all that, right? So this is basically what Fani Willis sent to Jim Jordan. So you can't just go and talk sideways to everybody and think you're gonna get away with it. It just doesn't work that way. Rosebud, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat this evening. So Rosebud says, You're informative and entertaining. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. You guys make it easier for me. But there is a lot of research. There is a lot of time that goes into it behind the scenes to be able to present this to you guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But yeah, I really appreciate it. And, for those of you guys who rock with me for such a long time, you can see the progression of the channel. Because, speaking to yourself, because technically I'm speaking to myself, like talking to the camera is kind of hard to do if you've ever tried it. And trying to remain focused and not sound like a complete blithering idiot in front of like potentially millions of people, because the channel gets like millions of views per month. So, and any one of these videos can go viral. By the way, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Share it on Facebook and Twitter. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. But yeah, seriously though, appreciate you guys so very much. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you guys. God bless every one of you guys. But yeah, this is what happens when you go after Donald Trump, when you go after people with a specific intent. And I think you all know what that intent is. Many people believe that the multitude of DAs, district attorneys across it, like up and down the East Coast, if you think about it, right? You got all these DAs coming, DAs and attorney generals. You got Letitia James, you got Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, all up and down the East Coast, all going after one guy in a very, very busy and hectic 2024 presidential election year. We all know why that is. But in spite of that, Donald Trump still made time to make his way into a bodega inside of New York City yesterday in Harlem, which Donald Trump got hella love from the crowd in New York City yesterday, which was really actually very cool to see, because New York is painted as this place where, it's a blue state, which it is, but you would not expect the level of happiness and how receptive they were for Donald Trump to arrive. People were waiting for like hours, 3, 4, 5 hours waiting, standing around in a small, confined, barricaded area in Harlem yesterday. I think it was on like West 139th Street. If you guys happen to catch it, there's a lot of footage floating around regarding Donald Trump's arrival yesterday, which basically Donald Trump made an appearance. He had Secret Service backing him, providing support. There were snipers up in the brownstones. I don't know if those are brownstones. There were snipers up in the apartments, and in the different windows, on the fire escapes, on the rooftops, all trying to make sure that everything went safely, and protecting the 47th president of the United States. So, and Catalia is right. It was on Lou Valentino's live yesterday. So Lou did a great job of providing the coverage leading up to, during, and after Donald Trump made his arrival. And so Donald Trump actually visited the bodega of, I want to say his name was, Jesus, what was his name? Jose Alvarez, I believe, is the store owner of the bodega that he visited. But he went in there. He was in there for about, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Came back out, communicated with the media, did a brief little hello to everyone that was out there. But I don't think it's really safe for him to be out there that long. And basically they took off. But definitely. I mean, you had the crowd chanting. There was a lot of support for Donald Trump out there. So I think Kathy Hochul, Mayor Eric Adams, DA Alvin Bragg, they're gonna get a surprise that they did not expect. I also think that Joe Biden's gonna get a surprise that he didn't expect. There's gonna be a shakeup this year, and I think it was rather interesting that. In spite of the fact that during this whole Donald Trump hush money case, the Stormy Daniels case that Judge Juan Merchan is presiding over this one, it's clear that he's trying to hold Donald Trump up so he cannot campaign, so that he cannot get in front of the in front of his prospective audience, his voters. But in spite of that, Donald Trump said, look, man, look, I get it. You're going to hold me in here. You're going to bore me to death, make me fall asleep in court. I don't know if he fell asleep in court or not, but I've been hearing rumors that he did or whatever. I'll be honest with you. If I had to sit in court waiting for all these different jurors to be selected, I would probably fall asleep too. because I'm pretty sure it's like hours of this crap and it just gets boring, you know? Like, dude, like, can we just get on? I mean, this fake 8-year-old dusty case that DA Bragg pulled out of his you-know-where to just like stall me. Like, seriously, dude? Like, so anyway, after getting hemmed up and held back in this courtroom, Donald Trump mustered up the stamina to after court. Basically, it's like getting held up in school on a Saturday and then getting stuck with detention. Like, he was in court all day long. And so it wasn't even until the end of the day at like 7:30 in the evening that he made his way to hang out with the people and got a tremendous amount. Because you got to understand, Donald Trump is, when you talk about policies, because see, here's the thing, guys. I might be floating around on some tangents here, but there's a point I'm trying to make. Donald Trump, his policy, a lot of people don't understand policy. Half the people who claim to be Democrats, half the people who claim to be Republicans have no idea why they even have that affiliation. Like, most people, if you ask them, why are you a Democrat or why you're a Republican, they'll either not really be able to answer you. They'll give you some vague answer, or they'll probably say because their parents or their friends or everyone I know else, everyone told me that I should be, and so I am. But when you look at Donald Trump's policies, one of his policies that he's made very clear is that he wants to address this border crisis. And I want you guys to understand that when we have a border crisis, this is a problem that affects all of America. And this issue is mainly with the southern border, Texas, Arizona, California, Southern California, and whatnot. So in order to address this, because apparently Joe Biden's hell-bent on leaving it broken. In fact, he immediately, once Joe Biden entered office, undid policies related to the border that Trump had put in place. That was like his goal number one. On day number one, he went ahead and undid a lot of that, right? So this is why we had this massive influx of illegal migration taking place here in the United States. And it's not good. Migration here is good. Illegal migration is not good, right? And I want you guys to understand, like, I think a lot of you guys do understand that these illegal immigrants are coming from all over the world. Mexico, yes. China, yes. Parts of Africa, yes. Many countries within South America, yes. So there's a whole crap load of people coming into the country, some of whom have actually showed up on the terrorist watch list and have been previously deported and have tried to re-enter and have done so successfully illegally. This is a problem. Who knows what some of these people are what their intent is to come in. Now, unfortunately, some folks who have tried to come in seeking asylum are getting a bad rap because you got all these, other people with ill intentions coming in, and it kind of muddies the waters. And Judy, oh my God, Judy Buon Tempo, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the love. God bless you. Judy says, Trump 2024, Biden and his cronies have to go. Let me know, guys. Is it about time for Biden to go ahead and check out? 81 years old. Don't get me wrong. There's some sharp 81-year-olds, but I don't think that he's one of them. But going back to it, and keep in mind, Donald Trump's only like 4 years younger than him, but why does he seem like he's about 15 years, maybe even 20 years younger than Biden in terms of his mental sharpness and his ability to be strategic and quick on his feet? Anyway, so going back to it, the illegal immigration situation is a serious concern. In fact, when you look at the issues that Americans are concerned with right now, illegal immigration is right up there with the economy. So this is a big deal for a lot of folks. Now, President Trump made it very clear that his primary objective, one of his biggest objectives, will be to fix this border problem. And he also said, and I'm going to not say it verbatim, I'm going to paraphrase. He basically said that he will initiate one of the largest deportation efforts that the United States has ever seen. Now, I want to make it very, very clear, though, that the Latino support for Donald Trump that I witnessed yesterday was astounding. And so, I think it deserves to be said that you can't look at someone and just assume who they support. And so anyway, let me know if that made sense, specifically when I was asking, or making the point that most people who claim to be a particular party don't really even know why they are. Like, I think if you ask 10 people walking down the street, hey, are you a Democrat or Republican? Most people probably don't even really know why they've made that selection. Like, not, like some people will be like, yeah, I'm a Democrat, or yeah, I'm a Republican, but why, right? And most people who claim to be a Democrat or Republican can't even list any policies that their party is very clear about what they stand for or what they support. So anyway, I just kind of had to go off on that tangent because, again, that scene yesterday with Donald Trump up in Harlem yesterday was pretty awesome. And I also got to bring this other thing up because it's really sad the direction that New York is going, as well as a lot of other states. It's not a good look for America. I mean, we've already seen what is going on with Donald Trump and I was about to say Alicia Keys, not Alicia Keys, Donald Trump and Letitia James going after him with this silly made up harebrained dollar amount for a crime with no victims, $500 million, $454 million. Again, going after an individual where no one had ever complained about anything. Here you have Deutsche Bank, one of the largest global banks in the world, saying, hey, Donald Trump and I are good. We are happy to do business with Donald Trump. He paid us back. They essentially testified, if I'm not mistaken, that Donald Trump didn't do them wrong. So you have no victims, and yet you're putting some gum and toothpicks together, trying to make a case. It's Robin Spielman says Operation Paperclip. Exactly. It's ridiculous. Gum, toothpicks, and paperclips is what is holding their silly cases together. It's just absurd. And so anyway, but this is the direction, unfortunately, that New York is going. Here you have, and I'm gonna end it here. Here you have the owner, a business owner of the bodega, right? I want to say his name is Jose Alvarez, and please correct me if I'm wrong on his name, but on the owner of that particular store. But he, thanks to DA Alvin Bragg's efforts, threw this business owner in jail for self-defense. Self-defense. I forget how long this store owner and father was locked up for defending himself, for defending his store, for defending his customers. But yet the district attorneys, the attorney generals, look at Letitia James, they're not prosecuting legitimate crimes. They're bragging about these improved crime statistics, but yet you're not even prosecuting real crimes that are taking place. You're downgrading crimes that used to be felonies, and you're making them misdemeanors. And so it's like, hey, let's retitle. Remember this? Remember how they retitled inflation? If you retitle inflation, if you retitle recession to not being 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, then we don't have to say that we're in a recession, right? So if we retitle what a felony is, if we redefine what a felony is, now we can say that, hey, felonies have gone down, crime is improving, crime has decreased. No, crime hasn't decreased just because you choose not to prosecute it. And then you lock up like legitimate upstanding citizens. This is ridiculous. So I just, it needs to be said. It needs to be said. Alden Davis, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Alden Davis says, like my kittens, open my eyes. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. I really do appreciate you. Alden Davis hit me another $2 super chat. Thank you so much. And Fed Up Patriot, huge $25 super chat. I cannot thank you enough. God bless you. So Fed Up Patriot says, Patriots, we have had the victory before. We have had the victory before this battle ever began. Don't lose faith or hope. We're going to win this battle. Ron, thanks for bringing the truth to the proverbial table. Absolutely. Appreciate you, bro. You are amazing. I'm just doing my best to just share the information that I'm coming across that I believe to be the truth with you guys. I think you guys appreciate that. And yeah, so that's the whole point of the channel. That's the whole point of the channel. So if you guys haven't already, do your boy a favor. I know it might only seem like it might not really even seem like it's important, but it means a lot to me when you guys hit the like button. It also means a heck of a lot to me when you guys share these videos, and I get messages from your friends and your family telling me, oh, so and so, is my neighbor and she loves watching you and she just sent me this video. I'm so glad I found you. So anyway, I just want to just say thank you and share my own personal gratitude with you guys, because you guys are dope. You guys are amazing. And I have a lot more to share with you guys in future videos. So definitely check out my previous videos, subscribe to the channel, and check out my future videos. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care.